Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the horror miser, Monty G. And yes, today I, myself, and my good friends Jen and Christian will be talking about everyone's favorite killer doll, Chucky. His first season was just past last Tuesday, and I actually did enjoy the entire series. I can't wait to talk about it. That's why I brought, obviously, one of Chucky's favorite friends, Jen, from Jen's Reviews in the Crave, and Christian. So say hi, everyone.
Fake Chucky fan.
I am the moderate Chucky fan out of this group.
Swedish meatballs.
Now, as I stated in my review, obviously when news announced that Don Mancini was going to create a Chucky TV show and Brad Dourif was going to come back as Chucky, all the Chucky fans were screaming mad, especially Jen, because almost the whole internet was not my Chucky, not my Chucky, not my Chucky,
not my Chucky, not my Chucky. You know, just not my Chucky. I just thought it was. I thought it was a bad idea, and I still stand by that. That fucking remake is not belong in that series. I hated it. I hated everything about it. It sucked. It's not my Chucky. No.
I also stand by what I said. It was a solid 3 out of 5.
Boo! That's because you're a fake Chucky fan. This right there proves you're not a real
clearly.
fan.
Well, yes, I am the fake Chucky fan. Yes.
Now. Behave, children.
He's not, Monty. He's not a fake. He's a fake Chucky fan.
Oh yes. Clearly.
Now, of course, I actually did enjoy the remake. I actually thought it was a nice idea. I like what they, obviously your boyfriend's here.
Hi, Marty.
I like what they did. They actually did something different. I had no problem with Mark Hamill being the voice of Chucky. That was the only similar thing was that the doll was called Chucky, but it was a totally different film. And I like what they did with it. You know, they did something different. And obviously, I really did enjoy the kills. They were gory and beautiful. Now, of course, not everyone didn't like it, but I thought it was good. But we're not here to talk about that, Chucky.
No, I'm not.
So overall, I'll start with this. Overall, what did you think about the series?
Going into it, I was a little nervous. Like, I was happy to hear that everyone was coming back. You know, Brad was coming back.
Mancini
Jennifer Till
was in control.
Mancini, it was back to his baby again. But I got to be honest, even though there was part of me that was excited when I initially heard it. There was a part of me that's like, ooh, it's on sci-fi, a TV. Oh, could we get this could go either way. This could either be really great or really bad. And I was worried it might be bad. And I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. This was a big surprise of the year. I hoped I would like it. I did not know I would like it as much as I did. Mm-hmm. It was a big surprise for me. Like, I had hope, but I thought, there's a lot of factors that could go wrong with TV because we have a whole different thing. And one of the things that I love about this show so much is it respects the past. Like, because a lot of us grew up with Chucky. Like, I was 7 or 8 when the first child.
You were around the age of Andy.
Yeah, I literally grew up with Andy, and so we grew up with this. So there's kind of that special nostalgic connection to Chucky and stuff, and I was like, oh, please don't. I thought, are we going to retcon the past? And I love how Mancini adds stuff that we've all been wondering, but it doesn't fuck up any of the story lore, but it also adds a fresh new take, and it's for the fans. I was telling Christian, this show is definitely for the fans, but also people that maybe aren't as big of fans as like our diehard Chucky fans are can enjoy it just as much, or maybe not as much, but you know what I mean.
Like I think we talked about this when we were doing some of the episode reviews. I like how a lot of the references and callbacks to previous films aren't like in your face. Like, look, here, for audience that doesn't know what this is, here's a quick bio over, here's what this character is a thing about. Like, I like that it was like, hey, if you know what you know, but we're not going to kill the pace of the story we're trying to tell to just explain to audiences who don't know. If you get the reference, cool. If not, that's fine.
Like Eddie Caputo.
Yeah, you're not going to miss anything if you're like, oh, that's the kid, that's Chucky's partner from the first movie.
Eddie Caputo.
Yeah, like that's cool, but that's not a detail where that it's crucial. You need to understand that in order to appreciate the series. You can still like the series without knowing that.
But you enjoy it more if you do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's what I really love about this series is that it really respects its past and it gives us some answers to some questions. And I love how we get to go back and see young Chucky and young Tiffany as well. And Fiona Dorff, oh my God, like Brad Dorff is the heart of Chucky. He is, I mean, besides Don Mancini, but he's the one that brings Chucky to life, and no one can ever touch Chucky. But one of those standouts in the show is definitely Fiona Dorff.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing.
Yeah, especially
She just her perform. I mean, she is the apple did not fall far from the tree.
She is definitely, the show is a great show
Daryl?
for acting. Yo, Daryl, been a while.
Hi, Daryl.
Yeah, no, she is definitely the standout of the series for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like I don't think there's a bad performance out of the main cast at all.
No.
But she is like on a whole other fucking level compared to anybody else in this series.
Except her dad.
I would argue she was even better than Dorff was. Like she is amazing in this show. I think,
is.
You know.
She is a standout, and we have our favorites. We have Tiffany coming back, and Tiffany's just such a delight. She's just a big ball of delight. You hear her voice and you just smile. But our new characters are very interesting, and I like that he tackles some issues that are very in the now thing, but it feels like it's just part of the story. It's not shoot in. Like there's some issues that are going in. I don't think it's woke or if that's even a bad thing or nothing. I just think that they're it's part of the story, and it works so well with everything going on in the storyline. I think that's one of the genius things. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because that's one of the things I liked about what Don Mancini did. I liked, like I said, I enjoyed the whole series. Just like I said in my review, I was very pleased what they did. I really wasn't surprised, even if it was on Sci-Fi USA, that they kept the violence and the language just like you would see in the movie. So I wasn't surprised like that, because that's what they're actually doing now with cable. They're no longer editing it like you would think. Probably maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, you probably wouldn't get this type of violence, even on a cable show that you're getting right now, because the standards have been raised with cable. So now that's why I'm so glad it was good. They know we get the cursing, we get the violence, and we get the gore. So I wasn't afraid that they're not going to be edited. I like what the Brad Dorff and Don Mancini did with Chucky himself. He's more of a modern killer now. The fact that he now accepts his gender fluid child.
I'm not a monster.
I love that scene. I love that scene.
And it's nice. It says something without overstating.
Yeah,
it.
like that. Yeah. That's the great thing, and it's something like Mancini, as a gay man, knows how to write all this stuff so well, and it feels natural. He knows how to do all of this, so it doesn't feel like somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Everything feels like Mancini's. This is stuff he's been cooking up for ages.
Yeah, and I think the relationship between Jake and Devin is a very sweet one.
It's a great one. Yeah,
it's very believable, and it's like it reminds you of how when you're young, when no matter what sexual orientation you are, that first time when you're kind of really into someone for the first time and you don't know and you're hoping they're into you but you're not sure. It just brings back a lot of nostalgic feelings no matter what spectrum you fall into. And that's a really genius of the show.
Here's something that we actually talked about, if they were actually going to bring back some of the cast from Bride of Chucky. And as I told you guys before, and Marty's saying it right now, I can't see them bringing Katherine Hagel back because no one likes her. She has a very terrible reputation for not getting along with any of her co-stars. Yeah. And because I think I heard that when she was in Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, and some other the movies that she's been in right now. And I also believe that she was hard to get along with Bride of Chucky too. She's just she's just an actress no one wants to work with. So I can't see them bringing her back, but I can see them bringing the guy that played Jesse. He could actually come back if what they want to do in season 2 is to bring back any of those characters from season 2. I could see him bringing him back, but not Catherine. No.
No, not the one you kind of wanted back is from 3, right? The little kid from 3. He wouldn't be a little kid now.
The like Andy's little friend from the military school from 3. I wouldn't be surprised. And I really like with how much they've dropped, even though I'm not a big fan of Seed, with how many references they made to them in this season. I really want them to bring Glenn and Glenda back for season 2. So I really would like to see it with how many times they make references to them.
Monty, do you think that the teacher might be, because that's my theory. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but because we keep going to the damn teacher. She's something.
Yeah.
I was wondering. That I don't know, because for some reason they kept focusing on the teacher, but they never really expanded that. She did get charged with the. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen Chucky, We are going to be spoiling this.
Spoilers.
We're spoilers, so you've
Yeah.
been warned. So if you
Yeah.
haven't seen Chucky, I suggest that you stop the video, go watch Chucky, and then watch the replay.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah,
will be
I'd
spoiling the
recommend
whole
that.
thing. I should have said at the beginning, but all right. Anyway, yeah, it's funny because they kept mentioning the teacher. She had obviously she cared what's happening to why did I forget his name, with Devin and
And Jake.
Jake and everyone else there. Let's see what's he's talking about here.
God damn it, Marty.
No, we're not
I'm
bringing
okay
back
with
Red
this.
Man.
I always forget of all of the random hip hop stars who show up in Slash movies. I always forget about that one.
Yeah, he wanted
You know-
Jennifer Tilly to play the Virgin Mary.
You know what? Sure, why not? Let's bring Redman back. I'm with Marty. Why not?
And so that's one of the things is like she was caring about Jake and Devin and all the kids there, but for some reason we really didn't get any more into the teachers, just subtle hints. So I don't know what they're going to do. Obviously, if they're going to bring the kids back next season, she might be a more focal point in the show, being that
I think she
unfortunately
will be.
all the parents are dead.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, he does die. Wait, oh yeah, he did. I
Yeah,
forgot he died.
but voodoo. There's
That's
always
true voodoo.
So
That's true voodoo.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they're going to have planned in season 2. But yeah, the teacher does bring up an interesting point, because I expected to see more of her throughout the season, but we only get things here and there. And we do see that the fact that she's waiting for them at the final episode of season 1. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen to all the kids. I mean, because Devin's parents, they're dead. His parents, they're all dead. So I wonder if they're going to stay together, or she's going to become their legal guardian. It's going to be interesting to see if they bring the teacher back.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about this series is we didn't, and it would suck if we weren't getting a second season, but I love that we're not getting a lot of answers to a lot of questions, and it's making you more excited to see, I wonder how they're going to do this and that. I don't think they're going to drop a lot of stuff. I think we're going to get some questions answered.
The thing that tells
maybe some things won't get answered till 3.
Yeah, the thing that tells me that the teacher's going to play a part is the fact that she was there in the graveyard in that final episode, because she had no other reason to be there other than to remind her in the audience's mind.
Yeah, and they always focus on her in other episodes.
Like that was kind of my theory, that she was going to become the guardian for Jake and Devin since their parents are dead.
Also, I guess we could talk about. I've got a question for you, Monty. How do you feel about Andy and Kyle? I love Andy. Yay! If they kill Andy, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Man,
I actually thought it was nice to actually bring Kyle back.
Me too.
Yes.
Because we haven't seen her since 2.
Mhm.
I like their dramatic in Child's Play 2, because Child's Play 2 is my favorite in the series, because I like their characters, and I like the fact how they work together to get rid of all the Chucky dolls. So I was glad to see that actress come back and in this particular series. I'm glad that they didn't forget her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's a lot of fan favorites. I think she has a really neat, cool relationship with Andy. That's
She
about the
does.
only person Andy has in his life.
Yeah, because his mom's his mom's confirmed to be dead with this series. So yeah. Yeah, so she's like, she is the only family he has left. I didn't even think of that till now. Yeah.
Yeah. They have a very cool and that's why Andy left her.
Yeah, that's why. That is one other thing I was going to mention to Kyle. Do we think Kyle's dead? Considering
No, Kyle is not
I
dead.
don't either.
I
but
refuse.
Considering she's at the house explosion. Chucky counts the house explosion in the kill count at the end of the season. So what the fuck happened to her? I don't think she's dead either. But that was a thing.
Do you think she's dead, Monty?
Hey,
I
Mrs.
don't.
C.
Yo, Mr. C.
Hi.
Thanks for dropping by. Always good to see people coming to the chat that we haven't been in here for one while. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if she's going to come back. I would love to see her in season 2.
Yeah,
I would too. I love her. Do you think that they utilized Andy and Kyle that much? Because we only got little bits.
yeah.
and
I
dribs.
think they're only in altogether maybe 5 scenes.
Yeah, 5 scenes. Yeah, because one thing you want to do is that one of the things I did enjoy was that they focused mainly on the teenage. The preteens or the teenagers. It's mainly their show. Everyone knows about Andy and Kyle. We really don't need to focus on them that much at all. So that's why I'm so glad that they focus more on this. It's nice to see them, and it's good that they have some interaction with the kids. But this is not their show. Andy had his time when he was a little baby.
Mhm.
He's a little kid. It's their show. So I'm glad that they focus more on that one. But I'm glad how Don Mancini was able to interact those people throughout the whole episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cross their paths. I like that too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did too.
I really like that too. I love. Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, one of the intriguing things I found in this show is that when the first 2-3 episodes, we see Chucky trying to get Jake to kill Lynn. I was
Mhm.
like, why is he trying to get? He could just kill him himself. Did you actually like that? How that shows how the first 3 episodes began?
Yes, I actually really did because
Yeah.
we got introduced to all these characters, and you really like them. Like Jake is such a cool character, and you don't know. And at the beginning, when we were first watching this episode, or the first couple episodes, I told Christian, I wonder if he's going to turn evil, and he doesn't. And they could have done that way, and it would have been an easy way to go after it, but they don't. And he turns out to be a pretty cool and decent guy. And then you have Lexi, who's a mega bitch, and then she has an arc during the show.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of unsure about Devin because there's a couple of scenes. There's one scene, I think, in the middle of the show where you're like, is Devin like, we think he might like him, but we're not sure yet. And he's doing something with audio, and you're like, what's up with him? So I like how this show, that's one thing for me, at least, the show definitely kept me on my toes, and things that I was expecting, it turned around, at least for me.
Yeah, I can agree on that. Yeah, there was a few things where I was very pleasantly surprised that they didn't go the way I thought they were.
Yeah, but I love the character of Jake. Like Jake is probably one of my favorite characters now. Like he's not my favorite character, but like out of the new cast, he's my favorite character.
He's a great character.
Out of the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lynn, what do you think about her character?
That's a weird one where I'm like, I kind of feel like the writers did too good of a job making her super unlikable for those first few episodes, to the point where when her arc starts to go into her becoming a part of the main cast, I like her by the end of the series, and I find it believable. But like episode 4, I think particularly I did have trouble buying that her and Jake, like, yeah, she knows about Chucky and they have a common goal of wanting to get rid of it, but I still don't believe that her and Jake would still not do a little bit more
animosity,
be a little bit more hostile and be a little bit more head buddy towards each other.
It did feel a little fast.
Yeah, but I think that's just because we only have so few episodes.
Yeah, because she did make a bad joke about his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. But on the other hand, like it shows that she's a little more multi-layered, because we see in other episodes that she cares. She's not a total vapid, selfish bitch.
She's the only one in her family that genuinely cares about her sister, as opposed to the parents who just kind of view her as the daughter as just like, hey, look at our really exceptional and talented daughter.
Yeah, she knows and understands her sister. So there's a little something more to her than that meets the eye, at least at the beginning, and it kind of comes out, and it's like she has a hard shell, and maybe that's the only way she could get through the world. Yeah, but there's a little more to, even in the beginning episodes, there's a little more to her than what you originally think. Yeah, so I like that. It's a very good character development.
Yeah, other than I didn't mind the twist, because I kind of figured that eventually they were going to become friends, even though I thought it was a bit fast. But I did like her character arc, of how she generally becomes more of a good find, and then maybe like with most women like her, they're mostly just superficial and they're vain to hide something else because they're actually insecure of themselves. But I did like that, and I like all the teenagers. They all did a pretty good job. What about her little bratty kid, your little bratty sister? I want Chucky. I want Chucky.
I wasn't like, she's a fun character on the show. She was a harder sell for me to like, actually. Yeah. Like she's kind of a little more self-indulgent. The parents will do anything, and there's sometimes as a parent you just want to take her and go, you know what, spank her. You know what I mean? She needs a spanking.
She is the only character in the show that I felt was more of a plot device than a character, because the only point for her is to just for the audience to, Chucky's grooming her. Is she going to be the killer? And Chucky can have the thing with Lexi in episode 3. Like that, she was way more of a plot device than an actual character.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. She was a harder sell. She was one I didn't hate exactly, but I wasn't like too invested in her either. She was just kind of a brat.
She never really had a really exceptional moment. Maybe the closest one is like the one at the end of the series in the movie theater when she kind of is realizing her dad's dead. Like that's probably the only moment where you really get any real characterization from her.
But she also kind of reminds me of Chucky in a way because she's very she doesn't show emotion that most little kids would.
There are some scenes I like. Like I love the scene of her and Chucky playing the game together, and I really like that scene. But that's just because of Chucky, not really because of her.
Yeah, yeah. Brad
No.
Dourif.
Yeah, because one of the things that I actually did love about the series, because something that we haven't seen throughout any of the movies, is Chucky's childhood.
Yeah, I liked it.
I was like, oh man, because when I first saw the first flashback, the first thing I said, Jen's gonna love this.
Yeah,
I did. You were right too.
Yeah,
I said Jen's gonna love this because it's interesting. They didn't do a full story of it, just give you certain aspects of Chucky's childhood, which is something that we haven't done. And I'm really glad that Diamond 75 decided to give us some backstory of how Chucky grew up, or actually how Charles Lee grew up. So what are your thoughts about some of the flashbacks that we saw?
I really love the flashbacks, and I like that we don't get like a very in depth. I like that we get a taste, we get a sense of what he is, and we're like, oh, okay, so because or at least I always wonder is did something happen that made him that way, or was he always that way? The answer is he was always that way. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, and sometimes a serial killer is just a serial killer.
Yeah, which that's probably my favorite out of all of the flashbacks. I love the one when the serial killer breaking into the house and he opens the closet door and you realize Chucky stabbed his mom to death. I love that. That was a great scene.
Yeah.
I really like. Did I help? Yeah, I really like that scene.
You got guts, kid.
You got guts, kid. I like
it. Yeah, that was good. You got guts, kid.
That was. And I also love the flashbacks with the ones I enjoyed the most are the ones with him and Tiffany. Yeah, I freaking love the ones with him and Tiffany.
Those ones were pretty good. The only issue I had with those was, I said this in the reviews, the voiceover for Brad Dourif was fine, but the voiceover for the actress they had playing Tiffany was a little weird and jarring, just because Jennifer Tilly has such a distinct voice. It feels weird hearing it come out from anybody else's mouth. It feels so weird and jarring.
Yeah, if there's one critique I had, and I said in my reviews, the dubbing using Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly's voice in the flashbacks totally took it out.
It was a little weird. I got used to it. It's just so weird
because you don't expect Brad, even though they're adults, you don't expect them to sound the same at that age as they are back when they're grown. And I felt as though that's not how you want to play that. Have the actors speak in their own voices. You can give their personalities. You can have the actors use their personalities. I would prefer to have seen that than have them dub their voices, because it doesn't. It just takes out everything. I think they did it just for fan service, just to make the fans happy.
Probably,
make the fans happy, but.
Probably, yeah.
I think it kind of backfired though, because I think a lot of people were a little turned off by it. It did take you out of the scene a bit, but and you're still so happy. You're like, oh boy.
Yeah, like I think that was the one moment of the series where I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? Is when we reveal which character is Tiffany, and she just suddenly shifts from like a normal voice to Jennifer Tilly's voice. I was like, wait, what? Huh? Like, why?
I think it was to make sure the audience,
Yeah, it totally was, but I was just like, why? That sounds so weird and jarring. It totally took me. It was messing with me for the rest of that flashback and kind of the rest of the episode. I was like, "What the hell was that? Was so jarring and weird."
I know, because I'm thinking the first girl that he runs, I'm thinking that's Tiffany, because we don't get her name, and I'm thinking that's Tiffany. And then when they kill her, and then all of a sudden we hear Jennifer Tilly's voice, I say, "What the hell?"
Yeah, me too. I was like, "What?"
It does take you back, but that's one of the things this series does, is it kind of likes to pull the rug from under your feet. It does. You think you know everything, and maybe you don't know as much as you think you do, which is kind of cool. I got to give it to him. Did you know that was Fiona playing Brad before
Charles.
They announced it? Did you figure it out, or did you not know till later that was?
Yeah, I knew it was Fiona.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Granted, I saw an article before the episode even dropped about it, but Yeah.
It took me a minute. Like I knew it was a woman playing because I was like, okay, that, and then I'm like, oh my god, this is
Fiona.
genius.
Yeah.
I love that. Was one of my favorite moments of the show. Is like when it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, oh, that is so poetic on so many levels.
Also, another great example of Fiona Dorff being fantastic in this series.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like Tilda Swinton playing a male character in the Suspiria remake.
Yeah. It was another example of that too.
It was that, and then the fact that it's his daughter playing him.
Plus, she got his mannerisms down super well.
She did.
And I love the story she told of she called him up when she was in like full makeup, and it messed with him super. Like, wait, what?
I bet they had fun together on set.
Probably.
They probably
I guarantee
did.
you.
And you know, he's got to be, as a father, he's got to think that's my girl. He's got to be so fucking proud of her. I would be. I mean, it just as a parent, you just got to smile and think, that's my kid.
Yeah, I really got to give Fiona credit because in this show she has to not only play Nika, but she also has to play Chucky when he's possessed. And I really like how she gives out some of Chucky mannerism when Chucky takes back over, and then she reverts back to Nika. I also like the fact that when she reverts back to Nina, I believe it was episode 5 or 6 when they first got introduced, when she actually talks to the guy that they kidnapped, a little kind of quick backstory of what's happening since she was first introduced in Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, what's happening to her. And I thought that was interesting how they did all that.
Yeah, it fit in the story really well.
And that you mentioned that, that's actually was pretty cleverly used. I like that because I guess it makes sense since Curse and Cult were the 2 straight-to-video movies. You know, probably a lot of people skipped those, and the last Child's Play thing they remember was Cedar Bride. So, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it tells the story well. And I also love how sometimes, even though she's one character, she's pretending to play another character. She's acting.
Like, those were the moments of the series where I was just like, what? Goddamn, she's so great. When she's Nika pretending to be Chucky was like so great. And then when they reverse it with Chucky pretending to be Nika, I really loved all that. And I love the scene with her and Jennifer Tilly playing cards. And at the end of the scene, she's just like, I stabbed you in the leg like 5 minutes ago, right? I know it's you, Nika. I mean, applaud for your performance, but I know it's you.
Yeah, and Jennifer Tilly plays it so well too. I mean, it's like watching great poker players, and you're just in awe of all of them.
Jennifer Tilly is.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it was nice to see Jennifer Tilly back because we really haven't seen her do anything. I mean, other than play poker, but it's nice to see her coming back into a role that everyone loves. I know Jim was loving it.
I was too.
I was just as soon as I heard it, and one of my favorite things is the Sweetest Meatball story. I loved when they brought up, because it's a callback to Bride, and I just was like, oh my god, I'm so happy, Sweetest Meatball.
That was funny. That was real cute. Well, it's one of those things that it fixed one of the only major issues I had with Cult was I felt Cult really didn't utilize Tiffany at all. She's just like there for like 2 scenes and that's it.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of my issues with Cult, and I like that they actually fixed that very much so.
Yeah, and the relationship between Chucky and Tiffany is still like they love each other. It's a very fucked up kind of
they
love.
Also are very happy to murder each other.
Yeah, they'll do that. And I love the revelation in one of the flashbacks where she goes, Chucky, didn't you ever wonder how Mike North had ever figured out where you were? And then you get into the flashback, and it's her, because she's like, we never kill anyone anymore. And it's such it's not relatable to most couples, but you take out killing and add something else, it's totally relatable.
It totally fit with Tiffany's character and was a cool bit of world building.
It just made me smile from ear to ear. I was like, oh my god,
it's one of those things where it's really cool, like Dawn finally saying, Tiffany has has been around. Like, clearly he didn't have any idea of planning or introducing her in those first films, but it makes sense that she would be there.
Yeah. It's just they're couple goals, Monty. They are couple goals. I want to be Chucky and Tiffany.
I can see that.
Couple goals.
Marty, you might have to murder a few people with her.
I was about to tell Marty about that. Marty, you better be careful. You might have to kill a few people to make her happy.
I mean, you said said you could see us.
What you got planned, girl?
You said you could kind of see me and Marty.
Oh yeah, no, I've always even before you two started dating, I've always seen you and you being very close to Tiffany. I've always seen that.
Yeah, she got Tiffany qualities in her.
Yeah, she does.
I can be very loving, but don't fuck with me.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, obviously we come. It does take a while to. I like how the series does, and it takes a while to find out what Chucky's really up to and why he's trying to get the kids to kill their parents. And then we see something that we've seen before, but I actually like how they pulled this off, unlike with Call of Chucky. So, what do you think about
like
Chucky?
Voodoo for Dummies?
I did. I thought it was cute. I liked it. I thought it was funny.
I'm with you. Voodoo for Dummies was a weird choice.
I love how Chucky goes when he's talking to Junior, and he goes, "Thank you."
You know how hard it is to get you little shits to kill somebody?
I love that. I was eating that scene up because it must have been frustrating for Chucky to finally, because nobody's going to take the bait to murder, and then and Junior, and you kind of see it coming, but you kind of don't. And I like how they do that. I also really like what they do with Junior's character because he's kind of he goes through an arc as well.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Oh yeah. He's a typical douchebag cousin. He's got the hot girlfriend, but obviously he's actually jealous of Jake. And then all of a sudden, once he finds out that Lynn is no longer interested and she's going with Jake, he gets jealous of Jake. And then all of a sudden, we find out that he doesn't like his parents.
Yeah, and Devon Sawa, that he's a parent that he loves his. I don't doubt that Devon Sawa loved his kid. He just. He was also just completely projecting his own life goals onto his kid that clearly didn't want any of them. Yeah, yeah. He didn't understand his kid.
That's one thing I liked that they did in, I think, one of the behind the scenes, after episode things of the cast interviews where Junior's actor was talking about how the reason he kept using "We Got the Beat" so much in the episodes was Junior wanted to be a singer, and that was what he used to pump him up. He had no interest in running. That was his dad pushing all of that onto him.
Yeah, this shows so many. It's as far out as this episode as these episodes are. They're also very relatable if you take out some things.
Oh yeah, and absolutely.
I like that.
I click with Jake very much. So I really click with Jake as a character.
Yeah, I can see that.
The one person I felt sorry for is Lexi Dog because I actually thought she was an interesting character, but they don't go anywhere with it. I actually thought she was having an affair, not that she was actually being treated for cancer, but they kept hinting that she was having an affair. But Chucky kills her before we get any further with the character. So that's another one of the things I kind of didn't like what Don Mancini did with the show was that obviously it was going somewhere with that character, and then we find out that she actually has cancer, but she still makes that phone call talking to someone. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's the boyfriend.
You never know. You didn't know until you found out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I actually kind of like the reveal of the cancer thing, and I like that we killed her pretty much right after that. It gave kind of a sense of nobody's really safe at this point. We just spent some time devoting to this story of hey, she has terminal cancer, she wants to spend some time with her family, and then she's just gone like that. I kind of like it. Kind of really showed that for the climax of the series, hey, nobody's safe.
Yeah.
Any of these characters can die at any point.
And that's also true in real life.
Yeah, sometimes people just are gone way before than you would expect them. They get diagnosed with cancer, but they could just be pushed out a window.
Well, yeah, and not necessarily by a supernatural doll, but these things can happen.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people were very very mixed when we found out the big reveal was cancer. I was thinking she was somehow involved with either Chucky or Tiffany in her past.
I remember you were talking to me. You thought she was either Glenda for the first episode, or you thought she was secretly in a relationship with Tiffany.
Yeah,
I remember you were telling me that for a while.
Yeah, or Chucky and stuff. I wasn't too disappointed with the cancer thing. I was I thought there might be some more before we actually killed her, but I wasn't too disappointed. Actually,
no, me neither.
Didn't bother me too much. Could have done more, but
The only death that I do think kind of was a little poorly handled was Devin's mom. It's a good scene, but I also kind of feel like we just kind of suddenly killed kill her out of nowhere.
I know, yeah.
Just as she was kind of coming on board with Jake.
Yeah, like that was the only one where I'm like, I'm okay that we killed her, but it does feel, especially since we literally also killed Junior's mom in that exact same episode, so it felt a little sudden. It felt like, okay, we aren't really having enough time to breathe with the audience.
I get that. What I liked about it, though, is I think we're trying to move out the parents. The death that
yeah.
I thought was kind of a little there was the one that it was Junior. I would have liked to have more time with Junior.
Yeah.
I especially as Evil Junior. God, that actor was great.
Yeah, he played Psycho Kid really well.
Yeah, like I was really enjoying his character, and I thought, okay, we could have kept him around a little longer.
Mm-hmm. Keep him for season 2.
Yeah, maybe not the entirety, but I was really enjoying, and I think he could have had a little more to do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, well, he did kill his father, so.
Yeah, he did, but I thought like just being around Tiffany and Chucky and Fiona.
I was kind of expecting like, okay, is he going to run off with like Tiffany and Nika at the end of the season or something? Like, is that what we're doing instead? But no, we just kill him, which, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I was enjoying Evil Junior a lot.
I was too. I like that he was like, yeah, he was past the point of saving really, but he still had a lot of hesitations about all the crazy shit going on around him. Like, I like that he did when Chucky told him, hey, go stab her. He's like, why? I don't know what's this about.
Yeah.
You know, I like that they gave that little element to him.
Now, obviously, got to talk about the violence and the gore and the blood because they really did not hold back on it. Excellent. No. Although I did not like the first kill in the movie when Chucky kills his Jake's father.
No,
I thought out of all the kills, that was the worst one.
How come? I didn't mind
it. For me, I don't know about you, Monty. The effect looks so weird.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, that effect of just the Chucky doll just spraying water and it's clearly just a puppet with a hose attached to it. I was like, that looks so janky. That was the one thing where I was kind of worried, like, oh no, did you guys cut the effects budget for this show or something? The rest of the series didn't have that issue, but that was definitely not.
Yeah, that was the only one because it's like you couldn't do anything better than that, and this it did not look real because all it is just a head of Chucky was with a hose spinning out something. You could tell it did not look good at all.
It didn't for me either.
Mm.
What was y'all's favorite kill of the show?
Ooh, man. There are a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of great ones.
Yeah.
I like the cop bringing back the doll.
Oh, the douchebag cop who was eating everyone's snacks.
Yeah, I like that kill a lot. I thought that one was really fun, and I loved how Chucky does the swan dive in all the toxic or the waste.
Needles,
Yeah, I love that. Was just so fucking charming to me. That was whimsy right there. That was whimsy.
That was a good kill. Yeah.
I can't because there were some pretty good kills in here. And I really don't have a favorite. If there was a favorite, it might have been Chucky killing Len's father because he stabs him, and of course the wife is just sitting down, and all of a sudden she's eating popcorn and blood just comes out.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, that was a really good scene. Yeah, probably it's either that one or Junior's mom getting pushed out the window. I think those are probably my two favorites.
You like that? Huh?
Yeah, I really liked how those two scenes played out. I liked.
And with Junior in the car.
Yeah, I actually really liked all those shots.
Yeah.
So, how did you like that? The final scenes in the film, in the series. I know we have to talk about what we saw at the conclusion of season 1 when a certain doll makes an appearance. And I will say again, people, if you have not seen the Chucky TV show, stop right now. Stop to spoil the final part of the season 1. Go watch it and then come to replay.
Back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You may now spoil, Jen. I know you can't help it.
Okay, so it's Tiffany.
So
Tiffany comes back.
So Tiffany the doll is back.
Yeah, with a gun, and she hands it to Andy, and she's like, "You know it's good for you. You'll drive." And I'm like, "Yeah, Tiffany, you're back, baby! Woo! We got Jennifer Tilly, and it's just awesome." And oh my god! And we don't know if Kyle's dead or not, and just a lot of question marks are left.
And one thing I really liked about the Tiffany reveal is it makes sense because there is one scene in Cult that's completely random of just Jennifer Tilly looking into the mirror and coming back as you see the Tiffany doll. I was like, what the hell was that about when that movie first came out? But no, it was the actual Tiffany doll. Okay.
Yeah, and and you know that she's gonna. And then poor Fiona.
Oh my God, the thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I still don't know how I feel about that.
It's one of my favorite scenes in the show, though, especially with Jennifer Tilly, because she's like basically said earlier in the show, I'm in love with you. You know, she's kind of fallen in love with her, and she's like doesn't want Chucky to kill her, but at the same time, she knows Chucky might use her body, and she's like, I was racking my brain and thinking, and her idea, it's fucking problem solving. I'll give her that. It's fucking problem solving. What do you do when you don't want to kill someone, but you can't like have them mobile? You cut off their arms and legs. It's genius.
I still don't know how I feel about that reveal, man.
Poor Fiona.
Yeah, what is Dawn's obsession with like torturing Nika as a character?
And then just her expression when she realizes what has happened to her body. I mean, it's such a great scene on so many levels and stuff. And I was talking to the Trash Picture Show about this, and his theory is what we're going to probably do with this. This is just purely speculation, but it kind of makes sense. Is she might become a doll.
Yeah, have Nika become one, which would make it interesting.
So.
Yeah, I can't think it's going to become a
probably.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. You know, story wise, obviously, she might actually become a living doll.
Be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a great way. That's the only way. Well, although who knows with this show, you never know.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I loved it. I love the reveal. Did you like seeing Tiffany come back? Hi, John Steele.
Yo, John.
I was a bit surprised because I was wondering if and when they're actually going to bring back the Tiffany doll, and I was like, oh, wow, that's good. They brought back the Tiffany doll. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
I'm impressed because I'm pretty sure that once it was announced that there was going to get a season 2, and I don't know if Don Mancini knew at the time when he was writing it if they're going to get a second season or not, but the fact that he still went ahead and brought the Tiffany doll back, I thought that was decent. I like that the fact that I feel so sorry for Mika and the predicament that she is in now. So it's going to be interesting to see where that storyline is going to go. Is she's actually going to find a way to get hands and legs and become a living doll? I can actually see Don Mancini doing something with that, and so long as it makes it look decent and not fake looking.
Yeah,
and I think he could. And
Possibly.
Do you think I want to know where their relationship with Jennifer Tilly's going to go too?
I have no idea.
Because it's so sweet. She really cares for it. It's so sweet. I'm like, yay.
Actually,
is it though?
Actually, that reminds me. I actually like what when Tiffany cut off Chucky's head, and that was decent.
Yes.
That was really cool. Yeah, I really liked that.
And
I love the callback to earlier in this season when Andy finds the head and he's just like, another head. I get to burn it.
Yeah, I love the scene where he's like, he hates fire.
Yeah, I love the bit with him and Kyle talking, and he's just like, Chucky. You know what Chucky hates most is when you burn him, because he's just been torturing that head in his house for like 20 years.
It's like his form of therapy.
Yeah, basically.
I love that, and I also love the where Chucky's talking about, he's got it. Why, when Junior's asking, why didn't we kill him? You know, when Andy comes up and he's like, because he has a gun, and I hate guns.
One of my 17 Achilles tendons, along with industrial fans, fire, just listing off all the ways. Chucky
I love that scene. He's talking about all the things that killed him in all the movies. I said that's decent.
That was great. That was a really good bit.
The one you really loved is you got to talk about it.
Oh yeah, my favorite line of this entire series is in the last episode when Jake and Chucky are having their fight, and Chucky's just going, you're probably wondering right now how me as a tiny doll is so strong, and Jake's just like, yeah, that makes no sense. I love that, because no matter how big or small a Child's Play fan you are, everybody points out that stupid fireplace scene in the original movie. I love that Don Mancini, even Don, was making fun of that scene, while also giving it some sort of explanation of, Chucky just has super strength for some reason because voodoo.
And we have a bunch of Chucky dolls that are slightly different but are all the same. I also love that. That is because we were setting that up in Cult.
Yeah, I know.
What classifies as a baby?
Yeah, those conversations he was having with the other Chucky dolls, I was cracking up.
That was
Kelly was
great.
Kelly was talking about, Bonnie, what he said, Lamont, what are you laughing at? I said, I'm laughing at Chucky.
It's great. That was a great bit.
But the best bit is the actual ending when
Oh my-
Chucky's sitting in front of a
The
fire.
fourth
Oh
wall.
yeah.
Oh my
Doing the-
god.
Oh man, I was like, oh man, he's doing the Deadpool vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I did admittedly get a really big chuckle out of when he's listing up all the great writers of history: Hemingway, Shakespeare, Mancini, and he just looks deadpan into the camera. It was great. It's like,
Oh,
damn,
man.
like Dan Don, you're stroking your ego a bit, but I'm okay with it.
All these questions will be answered, and then we got the commercial.
You might be
break.
wondering what's going to happen to all these characters and these things that are going to happen. I'm getting word that we have to cut to our commercial sponsors end season. See you next year.
Yeah.
That was great.
See you in 22.
Yeah, that was great. Bit.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah. So, what are you looking forward to in season 2? What would you like to see happen in season 2?
What would I like to see happen? I would like to get more of these characters. Like I said, I would have liked to have Junior a little bit longer, but since we don't have it, I am excited to see Tiffany, and I really want to see what Fiona's going to do if we're going to become a doll. I want to know what the fuck the teacher, if she's Glenn or Glenda, like I think she is. I want to
She's
know
totally
what the fuck
Glenda.
is the
She's
teacher.
totally
I want to
Glenda.
know if Kyle's still alive, and if she isn't, I'm a little pissed at Dawn. Like, I'll forgive him, but I'm a little pissed at him if she kills my Kyle. He better not kill Andy. I hope we get a little more of Andy. Like you said, these are these characters' stories, but I do wish we get a little bit more of Andy and just more batshit craziness.
Yeah.
I want to see where Devin and Jake's relationship go. I want to see how Lexi handles, because she's very distraught over Junior.
Mhm.
You know, there's a lot there to work with.
You can
There's
do
a
some
lot
interesting
of
stuff with her and her mom kind of reconnecting since her father's dead and that they're all they have at this point.
Yeah.
Could even do something interesting with her sister, maybe, you know.
Yeah, there might be setting up something for his
Yeah.
sister. What about you guys? What do you guys
Like I
look
said
for?
earlier, my main thing, I want to bring Glenn and Glenda back in. Like,
I think they will.
even though I'm not that big of a fan of Seed, I really want, with how many times we make reference to them in the season, I want them back. Could bring back some other returning characters, bring back Zombie Red Man, I guess.
And maybe what you would do from 3.
Bring back the dude from 3, yeah.
Little dude.
Just continue on. I know the actor playing Jake said in an interview one thing he would kind of like to do with his character is he wants to go a little off the rails and like the kind of become like Andy and just obsessed with like, we have to stop Chucky, we have to kill him, and kind of become a little bit unhinged. I know his actor said he wanted to do something like that, which would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. And I'd like to see Chucky a little bit more with his family, like, you know.
Yeah, I like that's the thing. I would like to return to like the thing Seed almost did of like Chucky having a family of killers. Like that was a good idea. It was just poorly executed in Seed.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh
No,
yes,
it
it was.
Yes,
No,
it
I'm
was.
gonna disagree with you both. You're both wrong. I fucking love Seed. I don't care.
Seed is okay.
Fuck you all.
I will. Oh, Seed.
So somebody has to love Seed.
I do. I
And
do.
it's her.
I hate it. I don't see the problems the way you guys do.
Oh man, yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do bring Glenn and Glenda back. Maybe the teacher is Glenda. Maybe somebody else is Glenn. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with Tiffany and what's going to happen with Jake, Devin, and Lynn. You know, what's her relationship life is going to be with her mother, and now that her father is dead, and what's going to happen with her sister. And maybe they actually bring back some new characters. I don't know. There's plenty of ways they can go in season 2, but as long as Don Mancini keeps the script tight, just like he kept it right, he makes good choices of all the characters that make sense. I think we're gonna have a great season 2.
I do too.
Yeah. How if they do keep this show running? How long do you think they can keep a show like this running?
I give it 3 to maybe 4 if they're pushing it. Don said before it was officially announced season 2 was happening that he had 2 more movie scripts written, and I'm kind of wondering if he's going to take those ideas and transplant them into season 2, or if he's going to come up with something entirely new for season 2. I'm kind of wondering, but I give it maybe 3 to 4 at the absolute max. I don't think there's too many ideas you can really do without it getting kind of stale and tiresome.
I don't want it to go on like because right now everyone's enjoying it.
I don't want a Walking Dead thing where it's going
or
on.
even a Stranger Things.
Yeah, where it's like going on and nobody really cares anymore, you know. Well, you have weird taste in puppet movies, man.
Those I do.
Let me guess. Did you ever see the that movie that had Melinda McCartney with those stupid ass Muppets?
Oh,
my
yeah.
God,
We did that. Happy Time
we
Murders.
did review Happy
We
Time
did review
Murders.
Happy
It was terrible.
Yeah, and I wanted to like it so bad. There's a trash fire.
There's a trash fire episode right there.
Thank you, Monty. You just gave us a great. Marty's probably gonna hate you, but I just got an idea for trash fire.
Yeah, because I think I remember you reviewing that movie because
Yeah,
I figured when I first saw the movie, I said this is a movie Jim might love. But then of course Melissa McCartney's in it, and I saw some of the trailers, and the one thing I hate, it's always
No. Yes, Marty. Yes.
I know what my pick is for the new year.
hey, look, if I have to sit through watching Exorcist 2 The Heretic, and one of my friends had to sit through watching another bad movie, Student Bodies, you have to sit through watching a bad horror movie too, Marty.
Damn.
Jesus.
It's happening, Marty. Just accept it.
I mean, it's not to go off topic, but it's good to make a joke. But when you spend almost, now I hope I don't get banned for saying this, when you almost spend almost a good 5 minutes of a puppet orgasming,
Yeah.
that's too much.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
If it's done right, it can be a lot of fun.
Well,
but
yeah,
the
but
execution.
that's why that scene in Meet the Feebles, which was basically the exact same joke, is like 30 seconds at max and not 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like Monty said, it just.
But look at Greasy Strangler, where it's funny and then it's not funny.
Greasy Strangler is actually cleverly written, though.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like the Greasy Strangler, at least that joke is okay.
Yeah.
That scene in that no.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like Greasy Strangler, the whole joke is that it's something not funny. That you either become craziness to the point of okay, I guess this is funny. It's Stockholm syndrome. Whereas with Happy Time Murders, it's just constantly repeating the same joke over and over again because the writer thinks it's funny and nobody else.
Yeah.
The joke in Greasy Strangler is nobody should find this funny. Why are we making this funny?
Because we're Jen.
Yes. Yes. Twisted Pair.
Now, Neil Breen is a fantastic filmmaker.
Yes, he
Not
is.
insult Neil Breen.
No, he is the auteur of our generation.
Oh
yes.
He's the next Coppola.
It's going
All
a
right.
bit far.
You're right. He's the next Spielberg. He's the next Kubrick. He is the master of cinema.
Jesus.
Oh man. Any final thoughts on the first season of Chucky?
It's a good show. It's a very good show.
Do you have any big criticisms? Like, was there anything that you were like, oh, this really doesn't work? Or I pretty much was happy with everything. There wasn't anything that really
minus a few technical aspects, just like especially in like the first episode with that kill. Like mostly the stuff I enjoyed it overall.
This was a big surprise of the year. Like I was hoping I was going to enjoy it. I did. Even me being a big massive Chucky fan, I was surprised at how much I dug this.
Yeah.
I really dug this show.
I was very, very I really liked the entire season. Like I said, minus the dubbing part and the first kill in the show, I really did enjoy the show. I thought Mancini redeemed himself from Seed of Chucky and Code of Chucky.
I like those movies.
I'll stand up for Cult. I will not stand up for Seed.
Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Time's gonna prove me right on this.
Possibly, who knows? Possibly, who knows? Yo, Rick. Yeah, like that's something I'm gonna talk about at the end of the year list. But in a year that was pretty much defined by big surprises that nobody expected being as good as they are, this was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, for me. Like as somebody who's like a mild Child's Play fan at best, this has pretty much become my favorite piece of Child's Play media. It's right alongside 2 for me. I loved the hell out of this show. I was not expecting it to be nearly as good as it was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was very good. I wasn't expecting it to be this good as it was, and I was totally surprised. And that's what I really enjoyed about the show, because I wasn't expecting anything. I was expecting something madcap maybe a bit silly, but it was all done very well.
Yes.
Very well.
Yes, it was. It was handled well, and that's to Don Mancini. I mean, to everyone.
Oh yeah, everyone, the puppeteers, the actors, the
Brad Dourif,
everyone on the crew. But yeah, a lot of it is owed to Mancini's writing.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Brad Dourif. Because we love Brad.
Dourif.
Yes. But Brad just is in his own little thing, you know.
Yeah.
For
Brad.
Yeah. I fucking love Brad.
Yeah.
I saw him and I was watching him in the TV shows like because they run the episode he did in Law and Order that came on. I really enjoyed that character he did in Law and Order.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
He's one of those actors who just, no matter, even if it's a bad movie, he's always enjoyable in
it,
you know.
He just has that energy to him. And like I don't think Chucky would have lasted as long if it had been any
as
other
a franchise. No, I don't think. I think a lot of it is owed to Brad Dourif. You know.
Yeah.
Just one last thing. A fantasy for you, Jen. Chucky versus Mark Hamill's Chucky.
Oh God, yes.
Oh.
Yes. Kill him. Just I want that so bad. God, I fucking hate that.
This is the
It's not my Chucky. It doesn't belong in the franchise, but I don't want it acknowledged in the show because fuck that movie. It doesn't deserve it. Fuck that piece of shit.
See, I'm just sitting here like this. What you want is the equivalent of that scene in Godzilla Final Wars where he destroys the American 90s Godzilla. Yeah, that's just what I'm imagining. That is one other thing I do want for season 2. Like, you don't have to draw attention to it, but I want in the background like a Chinese bootleg knockoff good guy doll, and it to be the 2019 movie design.
No,
I think that would be kind of.
We don't deserve to even acknowledge it.
I think it would be funny. I think it would be funny if it's like a Chinese bootleg, like Robert Koch or something.
This is good. It's too good. We don't acknowledge that trash. And again, you're proving you're not a real Child's Play fan.
I get that.
And where would you rank the first season of Chucky as far as the rest of the Child's Play series goes?
Oh God,
top 3 for me. It's this, Bride, and Part 2 for me are like our top 3 easily.
Yeah,
not this at number 1, honestly. Like this and 2, I got to rewatch a lot of the movies after this, but like this, I really like this.
Yeah, I would definitely rank this maybe behind because Child's Play 2 is my top 1, and then Child's Play is number 2. This might, I don't know if it put this maybe at number 3. When it comes to ranking them, this first season of Child's Play, I'll definitely put this in number 3 when it comes to the overall series. Yeah, but the definitely 2 and the first one are my top 2. So this would be on my top 3. Yeah, it was like I said, very good, very well done.
Yeah, it'd definitely be in my top 3 as well. See, the thing is all of these movies, whether even the lesser ones, because like for me, the lesser ones would definitely be Curse. And even though I love that we introduced Fiona Dorff, I had some issues with Curse. That was one of my weak spots. And 3, I have appreciation for it, but it's still not my favorite.
Yeah, 3's one where you've changed your opinion on slightly, but it's still like just there as opposed to where before where you thought it was like straight up the worst thing in the franchise.
But every other movie for me, there's some magic to it. Even the lesser ones have magic to it. You know, you kind of need all of them to build this whole story. Yeah. But this is definitely in the top tier.
And this is what this series overall has given me a lot bigger appreciation for the franchise overall. It made me kind of realize, oh yeah, you know, Child's Play really was less. Yeah, it's a slasher franchise, but it's way more character focused than pretty much any other franchise I can think of. You know,
it has a lot of meat to it. It does.
Now, before we go, because I've been trying to push this movie. Because we get toward the end of the year. If you have not seen The Boy Behind the Door, please watch that movie. If you want to see a decent horror film with an excellent twist that I did not see coming, please watch that film.
Oh yes, I'm totally with. It's one of my favorites of the year. Oh guys, don't be surprised that it's going to be very high.
It's definitely on my top 10 list.
Yeah. It's mine too.
Yeah, even as somebody who didn't like it as much, it's a very very solid film. It is really good and definitely worth watching.
That was a movie for me that made me excited about horror. That was a movie like I was eating it up every second.
It's like I was saying earlier. It was a big surprise because nobody expected that film to be nearly as good as it was. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Yeah.
definitely, guys, if you're anywhere interested into horror, this is one if you haven't put it on your to watch list before the end of the year, definitely watch it before the end of the year, because it could be in your very top.
If you have a Shudder
it's a brilliant-
subscription, it's on there.
It's a duo. It's a duo.
It's a filmmaking duo. They made another movie this year called The Djinn, which I really liked. Not a lot of other people did. I really liked it, so maybe watch that one too.
Yeah.
You know,
anytime I see those guys' names, I always perk up.
Yeah, those
excellent.
Those directors show a lot of promise. But,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, once again, you have exceeded my expectations, Jen.
Thank you.
I appreciate you two coming on very short notice, and obviously we will see each other again next week as we will talk about some decent and some bad horror movies.
Yes, we will be on. We will all be on the horror hangouts, which will be on my channel this month. Oh God, Jen's hosting. God help us
Jen's
all.
Hosting, which will be a thing.
And the Trash Picture Show will be on, and our leader Sean Patrick Erskine will be on, and it's gonna be a good time. The horror corner.
Yep.
The horror corner.
It's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a good time. So definitely check us all out there on.
Check us all out. I actually have, if you have not subscribed to Jen's channel, please, I have a link in the description for our channel, so please subscribe to her channel if you haven't. Once again, thank you very much for joining us, and always remember, people, that horror rules, and Chucky rules too.
And Chucky
also
rules.
Yes. Long live Brad.
Yeah, the series also rules. So
I guess I can't have sex with him because I love Marty now. But like, if I didn't have Marty, I would still sleep with Brad Dorff, because Brad, I love that man. I won't do it now because of Marty, but that's the only reason.
You're gonna get a stern talking to, I feel, in a minute.
All right. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye,
and stay
guys.
safe.
Excellent to each other.